To you live from the KDWN studios on South Durango, it's Live Las Vegas, hosted by the voice of the Las Vegas Wranglers, Dave Carney, and R&B recording artist Al B. Shore. Want to talk to Dave and Al? Call in at 257-5396. That's 257-5396. It's live, it's local, it's Las Vegas. Here are your hosts, Dave and Al.
And welcome to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk 720 KDWN. I'm Dave Carney, joined by the owner of the world-famous Max Pond, my new favorite co-host for every one of my radio shows, Michael Mack. Michael, thanks for sitting in with us. Al is going to be joining us on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline from Los Angeles a little bit later on in the program, and we have a big program for you guys today here on KDWN. We're going to talk a bit of world and local news here in the first segment. In our second segment, we are going to break down some of the hottest entertainment events, places to see, places to be seen, and some things to do here in Las Vegas. Then we're going to talk sports, and we're going to wrap up the show with fashion expert Michael Schulman from SchulmanSays.com. But starting off here, Michael, it's great to see you. I know we are going to be together here in another hour for Pawn Talk Live. How you feeling today?
I'm doing great, Dave. Beautiful weather, great week in Las Vegas. The East Coast is still getting pounded, and I saw the weather reports this morning, and it just doesn't seem to let up. But blue skies here in sunny Nevada.
I was going to say, Michael, today I did a couple of small takes of just ultimate gratitude, because I'm thinking this is just the most supremely perfect weather that you could ever ask for in the end of February. And for what the folks that are going through, back there in Chicago, New York, I can't even speak to, but this is why we live here in Las Vegas.
Well, I spoke to Al, and he had his show, of course, last week on the Valentine's show at the Barclays Center there in Jersey, and he said that it snowed 15 inches that night. About 5,000 of the people who had tickets couldn't make it to the event.
Really?
He still said there was about 18,000 in there, and they had a great time. But the weather is just so unpredictable.
Well, and the one thing for those guys back there, I think Al did mention that they know how to deal with the weather. When you have that kind of inclement weather, oftentimes you know how to deal with it. I mean, you and I know firsthand, when it rains 3 drops in Las Vegas, traffic all of a sudden becomes a worse nightmare than anything you could ever imagine, even what's going on in Kev right now, because people have absolutely forgotten how to drive in weather. So I guess it does kind of depend on where you are, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I am super glad that we're here, not back there, and that we're enjoying Live Las Vegas with you guys here on KDWN. Now, if you want to give us a call here today on our Subway Fresh Take Hotline, talk about entertainment, talk about news, talk about sports, we'd love to hear from you. The number to reach us, 257-5396. That's 257-KDWN. Get online, the Subway Fresh Take Hotline with myself, Michael, and later on we'll be joined by Al B. Shore. And let's talk news. Let's talk sports. Let's talk politics. And let's talk about Las Vegas. And, Michael, we're going to start off the show here talking about a story that is not, obviously a Las Vegas-based story, but one that is making headlines around the world, and that is the melee that has gone on in Kiev. Kiev is in the Ukraine near Russia. Obviously, the Winter Olympics are going on right now in Sochi. At this point, and you made a very good note here that how many more could be dead by this point, but at this point, they're confirming 33 dead, 67 people captured by the police. Have you had a chance to see some of this footage yet, Michael, on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News?
Dave, it's surreal. It's like third world craziness. It's one of those like sci-fi movies you see or something. It's really sad, and so my heart goes out for anyone who's affected here in Las Vegas. I'm sure there's residents and family members of Kiev. But, these people are striving to move forward, and it's just a direction going the other way. And I just don't know what to say. But, I heard that the president, the police, and the vigilantes have called for truce, and I don't know what's happened at this point today.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really unfortunate that you look at where the world's eye is right now, and the world's eye is obviously on Sochi, obviously on Russia. And the relations with the U.S. and the former Soviet Union and parts of the, the Eastern European bloc have been improving steadily over the last few years. But, Michael, when you look at something like this, coupled with some of the less than stellar reports we're getting out of Sochi about, the euthanization of mass numbers of dogs and the treatment of our American reporters, do you think that these two events have done something to damage possibly some of those relations?
Well, I saw an interview on the Today Show with one of the Olympic gold medalists, and they asked her about her experience. I think it was the skier that does the freestyle in the bowl.
Okay,
who
yes.
won the gold medal. I can't think of her name offhand, but she was talking about the experience outside of winning a gold and the thrill of bringing home a gold from America from Russia. She said they've been treated like gold. The food they enjoyed. She says she'll miss the cheesy bread that they have there. And she really said, so I was really glad to hear because, these athletes, they train their whole lives to be at an event such as this. Families travel across the world to be at an event like this. I'm glad that Russia was able to do what they have with Sochi, and it sounds like they pulled off a pretty good show.
Well, that's a little bit contrary to some of the reports I've been hearing, so I'm glad to hear that because the first things that I heard were some friends of mine that work for the Review Journal here, and I'm going to leave their names out of it, but they work for the Review Journal. They're over there in Sochi covering the Olympics, and it was about their rooms that they're in. There's some sort of camera or electronic surveillance-y things up in the ceiling where you can't get to it, kind of like this red light in the radio station that we're looking at here. It's too high up to get. They were given specific IP addresses to do all of their internet work through, so you got the feeling of an overriding Big Brother. So to hear somebody come back and say it was a great experience, then that's actually, that's something that I'm glad to hear.
Well, for pure athletics, when it comes to a skier and he has gates to ski through or a jumper who's jumping, you can't, I don't care if you have webcams or spy cameras, you can't take that away from these athletes and what they have delivered here in this Olympics. And I heard our Americans lost to the Canadians.
Lost to the Canadians.
2 times in 2 days.
No, I know. Listen, Canada is, to me, I can, when I say Canada and the United States, I have a hard time distinguishing the two. They are part of the Americas. So they just happen to have this incredible dominance over the United States in hockey. And it should be noted, it's a Canadian sport. It's a French-Canadian sport. That's why they say, shoot the puck, Antoinette.
Well, congratulations to the Canadians
Yeah.
and congratulations to the Americans.
They played fantastic,
absolutely.
by the way. And the women's team as well, the United States women's Olympic team hockey did fantastic job, too. Now, speaking of cold, because we brought it up at the beginning of the show, and we want to hear from you, 257-5396. We like to talk about weather here in Las Vegas because we don't have a lot of it. So it's always fun to hear what folks have to say. We've got Tiffany on the line with us. Tiffany has got a comment about the weather back there in New York. Tiffany, thanks for joining us here on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. How are you today?
I'm fine.
So tell us a little bit about that weather back in New York.
Well, it's horrible out here. I mean, it's like raining and like it's been snowing on and off. It's horrible. Like I can't take it anymore. I'm born and raised out here, but I still can't stand this weather.
So you're calling us, Tiffany, from New York today.
Yeah.
So you must be listening to us on KDWN.com, and we thank you for that. Now, Tiffany, let me ask you, how much do you think you would pay right now, or what would you trade to get out here in about 80-degree weather, put on a bathing suit, go out, hit a pool, and it's only February?
Oh, I would love it, especially that I'm a model and I have a beautiful body. I would love to be out there on the beach in the beautiful weather, in a bikini.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, if that's all true, I'd love for you to be out here in the beautiful weather, in the bikini, because that's what makes living in Las Vegas so fun. Well, Tiffany, I wish you were out here in Las Vegas because every one of our callers today that joins us on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline gets to pick up a prize absolutely free at the world-famous MaxPond. So let me do you a favor. You come on out here to Las Vegas. We'll even reserve this prize for you. You just go ahead and call us back and let us know that you're coming. If you wear the bikini, 2 prizes.
Okay. That sounds cool.
All right. Thanks so much, Tiffany, for joining us. And again, if you'd like to join us here on Live Las Vegas, all you have to do is pick up the phone, make a hands-free phone call if you're calling us from the road, 257-5396, 257-5396. We're going to have to step away, take our first look at traffic here on Live Las Vegas. When we come back, we're talking entertainment and some hot events around town. Stay tuned.
Sounds good.
And it's 1:15 in the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. This report brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Farmers Insurance believes that the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. To find your local agent and get smarter about your insurance, call 888-96-FARMERS. That's 888-96-FARMERS. On the freeways, we have a couple of incidents to look out for. 15 northbound at Charleston, also 95 southbound at Rancho. On the streets, just be aware of one, Rainbow and Sunset. From the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Desiree Peoples on News Talk 720 KDWN.
It's a new year, so you deserve a new you. Wouldn't it be nice to finally quit worrying about crooked or missing teeth? If you've been putting it off for a while because of the cost, then you should see Dr. Maracondia and his staff at AQ Denture in Henderson, because AQ stands for affordable quality. Dental implants, dentures, or dental services are more affordable than you think. Call AQ today at 702-565-6000. That's 702-565-6000, and smile again. Call AQ 702-565-6000.
Hi, I'm Johnny Dean.
And I'm Dinah Smith. Every day on Boomer's Brain Trust, we're talking about what's important to you.
News from Washington and Wall Street, interviews and features, personal finance, and more.
Boomer's Brain Trust, weekdays 10 to noon on AM 720 KDWN, where locals come to talk.
You hear a lot of talk about gold these days. What, with the stock market and more upheaval than tumbleweeds in a tornado? The world-famous Max Pawn is your gold spot in Las Vegas. Don't just send your gold into some random TV guy for pennies on the dollars. Go where you can see what your gold is really worth and get guaranteed market rate for your gold, silver, diamonds, and more. Come visit the world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas at the northeast corner of Sahara and Jones, or online at maxpawnlv.com.
For all your short sale, loan mods, and civil litigation questions, listen live every Monday from 9 to 10 a.m. on AM 720 KDWN. Jamie Cogburn will take all your calls on these and other law topics. That's every Monday morning from 9 to 10.
As a doctor, I've seen too many women with breast cancer who could have avoided extensive treatment or even death had they just gotten an annual mammogram. Every major medical organization experienced in breast cancer recommends annual mammograms for women 40 and older. Please, if you're 40 or older, get a mammogram every year. If you have a family history or other risk factors, talk to your doctor about what's right for you. To find an accredited center, visit mammographysaveslives.org.
Now back to Live Las Vegas with Dave Carney and Al B. Shore on News Talk 720 KDWN.
And welcome back here to Live Las Vegas on News Talk 720 KDWN. I'm Dave Carney, joined today by Michael Mack, owner of the world-famous Max Pawn. Of course, my co-host on Pawn Talk Live, coming up right here on KDWN, 2 p.m. this afternoon. Welcome back to the show here, and thanks again for the phone calls. You can reach us here live in studio on our Subway Fresh Take hotline. The number to reach us, 257-5396, 257-5396. Now, today, every one of our callers on the Subway Fresh Take hotline is a winner, and that means they're going to get a free prize courtesy of the world-famous Max Pawn. Now, this could be your choice of prizes. Michael has offered up either a DVD, a CD. What else you got, Michael?
Well, you know, of course, I think we want to hear the best story, and the best story of the day should get the gift certificate to Subway.
There you go. All right, well, we'll give that away. I tell you what we'll do. We'll save that for Pawn Talk Live because I want to hear a really, really interesting story, and I'm going to prep you guys about that later, but a lot of fun stuff coming up on Pawn Talk Live. Now, right here on Live Las Vegas, we were talking a little bit about world news, Michael. There's a couple of things in Las Vegas news that we didn't get to hit on before we jump into our entertainment section. Just want to bring it up because it is something near and dear to my heart as well as yours, and that is the Las Vegas Wranglers looking like they are relocating to downtown Las Vegas. The Plaza Hotel and Casino has stepped up and offered the fifth floor pool area as the home for the new Wranglers permanent facility. A memorandum of understanding for 5 years with an agreement for 5 years after that. Oscar Goodman seems thrilled with this. I know you're great friends with Oscar and his family. What do you think about the Wranglers moving downtown, Mike?
Well, Dave, you know, just the idea of professional sports moving downtown has got to have the Goodmans gleeing from ear to ear. I know that, you know, they were back at the NBA All-Star game, Oscar and Carolyn, the mayor, and they're looking, you know, of course, at an NBA franchise, that not just the city of Las Vegas, but I'm sure everyone would love to have that. You know, it's a shame to hear that the Wranglers, you know, lost their lease at the Orleans Arena, and for whatever reason. But, Dave, you're the voice of the Wranglers. Great crowd. What a fan base they have, loyal fan base, and they're so deserving of having their team stay, and I think downtown will be a big supporter of this team.
Well, I thought the first thing that popped into my mind when they announced the Plaza Hotel and Casino, I said to myself, geez, am I going to get a meal voucher now to Oscars instead of the concession stand at the Orleans Arena? Because I think I could trade in for a martini and a steak. And well, what a great, like you said, what a great thing, though, for downtown. The vibrancy and the energy that folks like Tony Hsieh, that folks like Oscar Goodman have put into the downtown area, have done so much. This would only enhance the entire feel of what's going on, which is just absolutely a beautiful thing. If you're a Las Vegas resident, you know what we're talking about. It's great to see this happening to downtown.
I think it's a great site selection. You have the 5,000 new employees from Zappos.
Yeah.
You have people that are new potential fans to this already very dedicated base of fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing that I will caution people about, though, this is going to be a hot ticket. Now, the Orleans Arena holds roughly 8,000 fans. Now, earlier this year, Michael, actually it was January 31st when the Wranglers came back from about a month-long road trip. They sold the Orleans Arena out. So 7,786 confirmed fans. There might have been a few standing room. We don't say that, but there might have been a few standing room. And you look at that, the Wranglers are going to be playing now in a facility that will seat 3,500 people. So when you look at the average attendance being about 4,500, this is going to be a hot ticket. But you know what? I think that makes it good because the true fans, the ones that really want to see this hockey, they're going to be out there.
Well, I know those midnight games will be a lot of fun downtown.
Man, that's awesome. I tell you what, it'll keep me awake until about midnight the next night. Moving on, Michael, I do want to talk about some of the great projects that are going on around Las Vegas that have community and community organizational ties to them. One of them is something you're going to be running in tomorrow. That is the Las Vegas Color Run. It's going on downtown. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Color Run and how folks can still maybe get involved with it even at this point?
Well, if you go on the internet, you can find the Color Run. And they've partnered up with 3 Square, which is an organization that feeds so many with all the different companies, restaurants, casinos. They organize the food banks for those that are in need. So the Color Run will be tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., starting at the Container Park. And the whole thing about the Color Run, you get colored. And if you're there to race and to be there for timing, it's not your race.
Right.
This is for fun, and I think it's water-based colors, and you throw up dyes up in the air, and you're supposed to wear a white shirt, and you're supposed to be very colorful at the end of the race. So I'm looking forward to it. I've been running a few 5Ks, and I figure might as well join this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like, I tell you what, I mean, honestly, it looks like probably the hottest run in all of Las Vegas because when you think about body painting, fellas, I don't care how old you are. You could be 65 years old. When you're thinking body painting, what do you think of? Okay, exactly. Now, when you think of that and you couple that with a run, and now things are just bouncing around, just tons of fun to be had out there in downtown. Now, starting off at the Container Park this year, Michael, you talk about another jewel of downtown, the Container Park. What a wonderful place in this downtown development district. I've been there now for my first few times over the weekends. It's unbelievable. Great place.
Well, I would say that Tony Hsieh Downtown Projects, the vision they have for our downtown, and if you did go to Life is Beautiful, you saw a good glimpse of what's happening. And if you're going downtown, the Container Park is just awesome. It has restaurants, it has bars, it has cute shops and boutiques. It has a treehouse that I'm sure that you have to get John down there.
That's why we went. I got my son who's 9 years old. They have this amazing climbing treehouse play set. And Michael, the thing that I really found interesting about the Container Park was, to me, you look at how the Container Park is put together. It's all repurposed materials from other things. So shipping containers is the majority of it. When you look at how they repurpose this, the size of the retail shops being very small, therefore very sustainable, the restaurants, the bars in the same fashion, can you see that being a model for not just downtown Las Vegas, but downtown anywhere USA? Resurfaced, reused products, smaller spaces, and really keeping the sustainability up.
Well, we have the space. We're fortunate in our downtown. They didn't need to do, that sustainable type of project, but
right.
It could go in a very tight spot. I know the city of Detroit, I was just back there last week. They're looking at a container park. So they're going to see some container parks popping up. And, they have the music, the outside music venue. If you haven't been down, we'd love to hear from you in the future weeks, and we want to hear what you think of the container park.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, heck, we'd like to hear from you today on Live Las Vegas. The number to reach us on our Subway Fresh Take hotline, 257-5396. That's 257-KDWN. Now, Michael, who is the owner of the world-famous Max Pawn, also co-host of Pawn Talk Live, has generously offered up a bunch of free gifts. So not only do we have CD prize packages from Beasley Broadcasting, we've got DVDs from the store. We've even got Subway gift certificates. So all you have to do is give us a call, 257-5396. You will be a prize winner. Now, Michael, we do have another caller on the line. We've got Desiree with us, and it looks like Desiree has also got some weather talk. Desiree, thanks for joining the program. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, we're fantastic. Desiree, let me start off by asking, are you calling us from Las Vegas, or are you also joining us from across the country?
No, I'm actually in Manhattan, New York.
Ah, wonderful place to be, but it's a bit chilly, I hear.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly. It's actually raining out here. I'm here with my best friend Tiffany and Samantha, and we were going to go to a club, turn it up tonight, but the weather's kind of horrible today.
So let me ask you, because it sounds like if you're best friends with Tiffany, and we got a call from Tiffany earlier here on Live Las Vegas, apparently she's smoking hot, you know, and I'm assuming that's the same. Hot. I'm assuming that's the same for you. So what do gals like yourselves do on a frigid night in New York City? How do you get to dress up and go out? I mean, you know, what kind of things do you have to wear and still feel sexy?
I mean, what kind of things we have to wear? I mean, of course, we're going to be in little short dresses, nice heels. I mean, the city that never sleeps, cleavage out. I mean, it's amazing. It doesn't matter what the cold world. We're turning it up, making it hot. We're hot ourselves. So It's always a steamy night in New York City.
Wow. So what's the event, or where is the place to be tonight in New York City?
What's the place to be tonight in New York City? Artichoke, the One Oak Club, all those be popping.
Awesome.
BB King Club.
I tell you what, Desiree, the place that'll be popping is wherever you, Tiffany, and the rest of your friends are. I wouldn't really care where that was. I know that would be the place to be. And hey, One Oak out here in Vegas is hot too, man. So that's just a great nightclub company all the way around. And Desiree, we appreciate you joining us here on Live Las Vegas. Normally we would have Al B. Sure in here. Now I'm assuming that you did you get a chance to see Al B. Sure last week when he was at the Barclays Center out in Brooklyn?
Yeah, me and Tiffany did, actually, and Samantha. We all seen him. He was amazing.
That's fantastic. How was the rest of the show? Did everybody live up to the billing? I know that there was SWV on the lineup and a number of other big artists. How did the rest of the show go?
The show was amazing. Everybody lived up to everything. It was popping. It was live. It definitely was.
Well, it sounds fun.
Is he going to be on today? I'll be sure.
We expect him on. You know, he's in L.A., and he is working on a big TV deal. And he always does his best to be on our show. So listen carefully, and hopefully we can get you back on the air.
Yeah, keep tuning in, and we'll try to cue you with some Night and Day, or we'll put on some good Al B. Sure music in the background, kind of let you know he's coming along. But Desiree, thanks so much to you for calling in. Thanks to Tiffany as well, and all the rest of your girlfriends. Have a fun night. I tell you what, normally I wouldn't be wishing I was going back to the snow, but now I kind of wish I was going back to the snow.
Follow us on Instagram. You need to.
Follow you on Instagram. I'm doing that right now. I've just thrown away all my papers. I'm following you on. _crown_me_queen_. All right, I've got that. Well, Desiree, thank you so much. Appreciate the phone call. And again, if you want to join us here on Live Las Vegas, whether it be from Manhattan, New York, or right here in Las Vegas, all you have to do is call us at 257-5396, 257 KDWN. Now, even if you can't remember ## **key 3537 _ I will find her on Instagram. You know why? Because I'm sure she's friends with Al B. Sure on Facebook.
Well, and of course, you know, we want people to listen and click into us on Facebook. We have our Live in Las Vegas website, our website, and our Facebook page.
That's right. Yeah, Live in Las Vegas can be found easily on Facebook, easily on Twitter, and of course, streaming worldwide here at KDWN.com. Always a great place to listen to the KDWN programming lineup, no matter where you are. It's available on your iPad, your iPhone, and other Android tablets. Now, Michael, when we come back from our next break, which we're going to be hitting off here into just a second, looking at traffic, we're going to be talking about some sports going on from around town and around the country, and also 5 places to watch great live music in downtown. So we're going to keep it local. We're going to keep it live. Las Vegas. We'll be back in 2.
Multiple system atrophy brings the body to a standstill. It's time to fight MSA. Join Chef Carrie Simon and friends for a night of creative taste prepared by celebrity chefs. Partake in a silent auction and experience an intimate rock and roll performance featuring Alice Cooper, Sammy Hagar, Vince Neil, Slash, and more. It's happening on February 27th at the Keep Memory Alive Event Center at 888 West Bonneville in Las Vegas. The VIP reception starts at 6 p.m. Register online at keepmemoryalive.org.
AP Update. I'm Sandy Kozel. Detroit's emergency manager has filed a plan to restructure the city's $18 billion debt. The plan filed in federal court makes cuts to pensioners and creditors while offering a blueprint for the city to emerge from the largest municipal bankruptcy in U.S. history. The AP's Mike Householder reports there's much more ahead before Detroit's financial problems are solved.
This is just a first kind of salvo. There's a lot more court hearings ahead. There are more mediation sessions ahead. And even when this bankruptcy is all completed, there certainly are going to be some court appeals in our future.
Janice Pegg says she relies on pension dollars her late husband earned from his 2 decades as a police officer in the city.
I wasn't too upset because I thought we would be protected under the state constitution, that the pension benefits that Victor earned.
Those pension benefits would be cut under the plan. AP Update. I'm Sandy Kozel.
The news brought to you by Farmers Insurance. At Farmers Insurance, they believe the more you know, the better you can plan. Find your local agent at farmers.com or call 888-96-FARMERS. Brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
It's 1:32 in the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, brought to you by Farmers Insurance. On the freeways, got a couple of incidents to report. 15 northbound at Charleston, also 95 southbound at Rancho. On the streets, look out for wrecks at Eastern and Fremont, as well as Charleston and Nellis. From the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Desiree Peoples on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Hi, this is Doug Basham. You know, the guy you just can't get enough of. Or is that the guy you just love to hate? In either case, join me every Saturday afternoon at 3 for something a bit different. That's Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. See you then.
It's been our pleasure since 1950, serving Nevadans just like you, and be a part of your financial future. Your local lender for all you do. One Nevada Credit Union. Our one focus is you.
Federally insured by the NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
Ladies, are any of these symptoms familiar? Hot flashes, sleeplessness, irritability? How about low libido or weight gain? If you're a woman over 40 experiencing any of these symptoms, you probably have hormonal imbalance. And until you balance your hormones, it can be practically impossible to get relief from these problems. But you're in luck, because Amberen can help you balance hormones and relieve your hot flashes, sleeplessness, irritability, and other symptoms of menopause. And now you can finally lose weight with Amberen Weight Loss, a powerful new product that will help you get the results you want. So you can finally lose the weight and all those other awful menopause symptoms. Call now and ask how you can get your free sample of Amberen Weight Loss. Just call 1-800-240-8664. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call Amberen right now, 1-800-240-8664. That's 1-800-240-8664. 1-800-240-8664.
Hi, this is Michael Mack, owner of a world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas. You ever wondered what those valuables are worth? Had a pawn question but didn't know who to ask? I have the solution for you. Join me and Dave Carney every Friday from 2 to 3 for Pawn Talk Live here on News Radio 720 KDWN.
Now back to Live Las Vegas with Dave Carney and Al B. Shore on News Talk 720 KDWN.
And welcome back to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney, joined by the owner of the world-famous Max Pawn and my co-host for Pawn Talk Live, coming up at 2 o'clock, Michael Mack. Back in here with you guys, and we're talking about some of the great stuff that's going on downtown. Michael and I were leaving off talking about the Color Run, which is going to be starting from the Container Park, which, if you haven't been to the Container Park yet, you have to go. It's a really great place to not only see some live music, let the kids play around, grab a beer, a bite to eat, really, really fun stuff. And Michael, I've put together a special list courtesy of our friends over at the Las Vegas Weekly, so I can't take all the credit for it, but I've put it together on our show, and I'm going to tell you about the 5 coolest places to catch live bands in downtown Las Vegas. Now, one of the places that opened, I guess, maybe about 18 months ago and has really reshaped that corner of Fremont and 6th Street is Backstage Bar and Billiards. Now, have you had a chance, Michael, to go into that property? It's, kitty corner from the Beat Cafe, right across from the El Cortez.
Well, Dave, it used to be the old Metro fingerprint building.
There you go. That's why you were there.
But not only for the good purposes. I was printed for my special use permit, not for the bad purposes.
Sure. Pond master as you are. Got to go there. But, I mean, have you seen it since it's transformed into what it is now?
It's awesome. The corner's awesome, and the music venues they have, and I hear the bands they have are just tremendous.
Well, it's out of this world. I'm not exactly sure the name of one of the principals, but the hip hop and sort of rock group House of Pain has a real tie to the building, and I believe it's one of the members of House of Pain. I believe it's the DJ. Actually, it does a lot of the promotion and the booking of the bands. I was just telling Michael here off air that Robbie Krieger was down there, the guitarist from the Doors, and playing a set with I can't remember who it was now, but it was another classic rock icon. Then you go all the way up. You've got new rock. You've got hip hop. So great place there. Another fun spot. It's been around for a long time, Michael, the Beauty Bar right there on Fremont Street. Awesome place to see bands. Now, they've got a bunch of good ones coming up, and our engineer here, Clyde, very, very good to look out and tell me not to say one of the band's names that's coming up at the Beauty Bar. So I won't say that, but all you have to do is go to LasVegasWeekly.com, and you'll figure that out. Now, the other thing here that we're going to mention that doesn't always get thrown into the mix, and it should, are the Fremont Street stages. So the 1st and the 3rd Street stage down there on Fremont Street put together concerts year-round, but specifically during the summertime. So if you're into some of the biggest acts from the 60s and the 70s, you can catch a lot of those right there at the 1st and the 3rd Street stage. Another place sitting right up above the 3rd Street stage is the LVCS, which is the Las Vegas Country Saloon. It used to be, part of Hennessy's, and then they opened it up to a jazz club, but a great place there. And then they stop with the Velveteen Rabbit. Now, I can tell you, I've never been to the Velveteen Rabbit, so I can't speak for it, but the Las Vegas Weekly says it's cool, so I believe it.
I believe them, too.
Sounds like we got a lot to do down there, doesn't it? We got the Wranglers, we got the Color Run, we got the Container Park, and now we've got 5 awesome places to see live music.
Well, downtown's happening, and
it is.
I wish I was young enough to live down there again, because I think that would be the hip-hop place to live in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it would be. I just, I don't know. See, I'm at that age, too, where I'm like, do I want to live downtown, or do I want my backyard? And right now, backyard is winning over condo living. So that's the only thing that's keeping me down there. But I know that a friend of our show here, Elise Martin, the proprietor of Wild down there at the Ogden, she has just recently moved downtown. So congratulations to her. And speaking of downtown, Mr. Downtown New York, I guess we could call him, Al B. Sure joins us on Live Las Vegas. Al, thanks so much for calling. We've had 2 New Yorkers phone us from Manhattan talking about how, first of all, terrible the weather is back there and how great the concert was at the Barclays Center last week.
Well, first of all, snow is traditional with New York winter, and lots of it. We call it a blizzard, but it was so nice to see the attendance. Up to almost 20,000 people showed up in a blizzard. It was 16 or 17 inches of snow. People made their way on New York City Transit, whatever way they had to get there. It's like, what's the song? I don't care how you get there, but just get the heck there if you can. And they did that. So it was quite a very humbling experience, very specifically being on stage and as soon as they hear those first notes and the entire audience just, oh man, I tell you, your whole body goes to this whole, you get chills, and it's like a metamorphosis, and it's all that, I call it that spiritual food that's always missing. They feed you, they fill you right up.
So Al, we were speaking yesterday, and you told me about 2 pretty cool moments that you shared all within the same week. You sang the national anthem for the Thunder game, and then of course was a part of a big concert at the Barclays Center. What was the difference between the 2? How did you feel with those 2 venues when you sang?
Wow, yeah, it's the strangest feeling in the world, I guess. Traditionally, as a performer, you go out on stage, the music is playing, there's a big build-up, the audience is cheering, their favorite performer or what have you is about to come out, and there's such an energy throughout the building, and then you hit the stage and you hear, the lights, and this whole thing goes on. So doing the national anthem was, completely the opposite, because, first of all, the stadium is completely full. Obviously, with Kevin Durant, these guys are number one now, and arguably, between Kevin Durant and LeBron James. And so just like they played the Heat, I guess, yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna talk about that in sports because the Heat pieced up the Thunder last night. Did a little revenge action there on them.
Yeah, LeBron said, "Hey, stop second guessing."
That's right.
But but during the national anthem, the crazy part about it is you get there, you see the stadium, and it's people they're murmuring, waiting for the game to start. Then I guess a minister or someone comes out and does a small prayer or what have you, and then you're expected to walk into the middle of the stadium right at center court. Now, mind you, in the concert, it's a different story. The concert is people, screaming and cheering and so on and so forth. When you walk into the middle of the floor, it's crickets. It's complete silence, and 25,000 people are just staring at you. So if you don't hit that note, the first note, you're through all the way.
Yeah,
so,
listen, even Christina Aguilera, when she says, "Oh yeah, I got this," you don't got this. You better do that walkthrough. No. It's a tough song. It is a tough song.
It's really a tough song, and it's so funny. I was with, one of my dearest friends in the world, Big Bub from the group Today, and he was like kind of coaching me because he's a vocal genius himself, so he was coaching me right before the song. And I kept going up to him, is this the right note? Is this the way where I should start? Because you have to very specifically, I have a pretty vast range, but that song, for some reason, is a nerve-wracking song to sing because, number one, you have to get the words right. It's disrespectful if you get the words wrong. And so I was speaking to the preacher prior to walking on. The preacher and his wife were standing there, and she says, when I was doing my warm-up, she says, "Come here, son, let me talk to you." So I walk over, and she says, "It's or." So she started to change the words to me, and I said, "Oh, you're right, ma'am." I said,
"Oh, boy. Well, listen, there's nothing worse than having to change the national anthem at the last minute. You're like, wait, it is or, and it's just, I don't know. That to me would throw me off. And Al, I don't mean to cut you off, but since you're not here in studio, you can't see the board with us. We've got two callers. We've already had callers coming through our Subway Fresh Take hotline today at 257 KDWN 257-5396. And we've got two more here. Ray wants to talk to Al B. Sure. Ray, thanks for calling Live Las Vegas. Yes, Al B. Sure has finally joined the show. How are you? And you've got Al.
Good, guys. How you doing today?
Fantastic.
Hey, Ray. How's it going, man?
Good, buddy. Big fan. I did have a question for you, though. Have you ever written songs for other artists? Because I'd never read anything about that in your, your bios and stuff that I was able to access.
Yeah. You know what? I've had an opportunity to work with and write for Usher, a group named Jodeci, Kevin Campbell, Rod Stewart,
the Eagles?
Denise Wilson. No, I did a remake of the Eagles.
That's right.
Oh, take it easy, Michael. Oh, wait, no pun intended. Sorry about that.
One of my favorite groups, of course, of all time. Just Diana Ross. I have a duet with Diana Ross as well. David Bowie. And just had an opportunity, of course, working with Quincy Jones and just a number of artists. I mean, and Al Green as well. I wrote for Al Green. We did which he won a Grammy for, the gospel album called As Long As We're Together. Oh, man. What I'll have to do is if you go to albshore.net or to my Facebook, I think the proper bio should be there. And if not, you just leave us your email address and we'll shoot you a little discography of work that's done around the world.
Yeah, but one thing we don't want to have our fans doing is going to your Wikipedia page and changing it for you, because when that happens, all sorts of stuff comes up. I mean, when did Al do this? Oh, that's not good. Wait, no, that wasn't really this Al. Be sure that was Al Capone. All right, now with that being said, we have got to step away and take our final look at traffic here on Live Las Vegas. When we come back, Al, Michael, and I are going to talk about some of the sports from around Las Vegas, and I know Al's friend over there at Canyon Springs, Freddie Banks, and the crew, boy, they are lighting guys up. So stay tuned with us here on News Talk 720 KDWN. We'll be back.
It's 1:45 in the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. On the freeways, look out for a wreck 15 northbound at Sahara. On the streets, we've got incidents at Spring Mountain and Las Vegas Boulevard and Eastern and Fremont. The KDWN forecast mostly sunny today with a high of 67. Right now it's 64 degrees in Las Vegas. From the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Desiree Peoples on News Talk 720 KDWN.
From gentlemen, start your engines to the checkered flag. NASCAR is back on the air in Las Vegas on News Talk 720 KDWN. This Sunday, February 23rd, you can hear the Daytona 500 live from the Daytona Motor Speedway. The broadcast begins at 10 a.m.
At last, the Super Spring Home Expo with everything for inside and outside your home, all in one place. Cashman Center, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Get 2-for-1 coupons in the RJ. The Super Spring Home Expo, Cashman Center. Seniors free Friday.
Hi, you can't see me because of radio, and I can't see you because I'm totally blind. My blindness doesn't hold me back, but I fight to stay awake during the day because I'm not sleeping through the night. Often I struggle to concentrate and just keep up. Sound familiar? You're not alone. But this is not a sleep disorder. It's actually 924. Learn about the link between total blindness and your symptoms. Visit learnmore924.com or call 855-856-2424.
Brought to you by Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
When it's go time, when it's time to put the pedal to the metal, NASCAR drivers and Baja 1000 drivers alike both trust the legendary performance and reliability of Goodyear tires. And now Vegas drivers can get that same performance and reliability on their own cars and trucks, because Ted Weens now carries the full line of world-class Goodyear tires. Goodyear Eagle tires, Goodyear Wrangler tires, all mounted by real ASE certified mechanics for when it's your go time, because Ted Weens really does care. The slightly obsessive ASE certified mechanics at Ted Weens are now carefully mounting Goodyear Eagle tires on deserving cars and Goodyear Wrangler tires on some lucky trucks. In fact, Ted Weens, that place you see all over town, now carries the full line of world-class Goodyear car and truck tires. So if you live in Las Vegas and you want the quality and performance Goodyear tires are famous for, well, now you know where to go find them. Ted Weens, because we really do care.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? Call 855-412-SAFE. That's 855-412-7233 for your complimentary strategic money kit. Or join Mike for Safe Money and Income Radio on Sundays at 8:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m.
Hey Las Vegas, it's Al B. Shore and the voice of the Las Vegas Wranglers, Dave Carney. Join us for the best that Las Vegas has to offer. Entertainment, sports, dining, and nightlife. Live in Las Vegas. Tune in every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Now back to Live Las Vegas with Dave Carney and Al B. Shore on News Talk 720 KDWN.
And welcome back to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney, joined by the owner of the world-famous Max Pawn, also my co-host here for Pawn Talk Live, coming to us at the bottom of the hour, Michael Mack. And online with us from Los Angeles, Al B. Shore. Al, you still with us there on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline?
On the Subway Hot Take Line.
There we go. Well, thank you for being with us. We know that you got a busy schedule, and of course we miss the heck out of seeing you here in studio, and hopefully we get you back.
I cannot wait to get back in the studio with you guys, and I'm just very grateful that the phone still rings after 30 years. People still want to enjoy the music, so it's completely a blessing.
Yes, we talked about this a little bit last week on the show, just how at this point of your career after so many years, how you're able to really fully appreciate the fact that the phone still rings. A lot of times when we're in the height of our youth and everything seems to be just rolling along with no end in sight, it doesn't give us the time to really sit back and appreciate what's happening to us, and it seems like you've reached that point now. And with that being the case, Al, I've got to take Desiree on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. She's been waiting very patiently with us here. Desiree also has a question for Al B. Shore. Now, Desiree, remember, you are on the radio. Let's keep it clean, but you've got Al B. Shore. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm great, thank you.
Hey, Desiree, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, if you decide to come back to the Barclays Center next year, are you going to perform the song Had Enough?
You know what? Absolutely. We decided to add a few of the songs to the repertoire, and because what happens is each city, depending on, you know, the number of artists, sometimes, you know, when they do some of these, you know, old school R&B shows, they have a number of artists on the bill, you know, like whether it's myself, Keith Sweat, Tony, El DeBarge. So you get a limited amount of time specifically, and I don't want to go into the logistics of it, but if you have a union house, you know, you have to stop the concert at a certain time. So they kind of start at 8, everybody gets, you know, a certain amount of time. So you really just try to go, you know, with very specifically with the most popular songs. And if your team does the research, you know, a lot of times you'll find out which songs played the most in that particular market, whether it's New York radio. So if they're playing Off on Your Own Girl and Night and Day and Rescue Me and Killing Me Softly, you know, you want to focus on those. But I like to do the open-ended shows where I take requests and we just rock with it, what everybody wants to hear.
Well, I'm definitely excited to hear that. I also have my best friend here with me, Tiffany. We were calling earlier, and she really would love to speak to you. Thanks for answering that question. Hello, it's Tiffany from New York.
Hey, Tiff, what's good?
How you doing? I'm great. Well, I wish the weather out here was a little bit more nice. It's
now, wait a minute. What's the weather like right now?
It's raining out here right now. Weather is sleek or snow. We made it to the concert, me and my mom and my friend. And my mom is Chance Love on Facebook. She had wrote you a few times, and it was amazing. I love the performance. It was great. And I'm only 25 years old, but I'm like a big R&B. I have an old soul, you know.
I really appreciate hearing that too. Thank you. You know what? I love the fact that the younger generation that listens to. You know, it's important to kind of reach back and specifically. I think it's the parents' duty to kind of let them know, because sometimes, you know, you hear a lot of this new music out here, and they say, you know, that's that new Kanye joint, and then you go, no, that's Earth, Wind and Fire. No, it's not. That's Kanye. You know, so you know, it's really good to know the history of the music. You know, and that's kind of when I started. I studied everything from Johnny Mathis to, you know, all the old Quincy Jones to Wilson Pickett to, you know, just you know, Dean Martin. I mean, you know, singers like that, real talents and real, you know, self-contained artists that really went all the way in with their craft. I mean, it's just something, you know, amazing to do, and just to watch them. Even Michael Jackson. If you get an opportunity, go to YouTube, and I want you to look up a guy named Gene Kelly, and all you're going to see is Michael Jackson. Now, he came way before Michael Jackson, so Michael studies his movements, even with the white socks, and you know, it's an illusion. You know, when Michael dances and you have the shoes with the white socks and the shorter pants, all of that is, you know, it's magic, and it's like that's learned from the great artists before us.
Yeah, absolutely, Al. You know, I tell you, hearing it from you, you really get the insight that I didn't really think about, especially, you know, picking your song selection based upon the market demographic and what's really being played, which I think is really cool. So, Desiree, thank you for the call. Now, wrapping up our questions here with Al B. Sure, Ray, who was on the line with us a little bit early that had to get off the phone here, Al, has another question, and he was wondering if it was very satisfying writing a song and having that song break into the top 5. So I'm sure that you could reply to the affirmative for that, yes?
Absolutely. I mean, the simple fact that you know, realistically, you know, you knowing me, Dave, it's a very humbling experience, because I always go back and remember the fact that I sat up in my cousin Kyle West. We set up in his basement with equipment, with, you know, a keyboard and recorders, and, you know, on the top of a pool table, made this music, wrote it on the back of my school notepads, and then all of a sudden I find myself in Japan performing in front of, you know, 10,000 Japanese citizens who barely speak English, but they can recite the entire song. It's the most humbling experience you ever want to, you know, and I wish that if there's anybody that could experience that, there's nothing like it. And then having the opportunity to work, you know, do Usher's first album and work with, you know, Michael McDonald, and work with Barry White and Quincy Jones and the DeBarge family, to work with Al Green, to work with Diana Ross. Just leaving New York, we had an opportunity to go and see the Motown play that's on Broadway, along with Bridges of Madison County. And the Motown play was just something so special, because, you know, as a former vice president of A&R at Motown, it was an honor to work, you know, for that particular label, and to see the entire life of Berry Gordy unfold, you know, on stage. The cast was amazing. Whoever casted that particular show did such an amazing job, because, you know, it rolls out so well, and the vocalists are there. So if anyone's listening, you get an opportunity to hop into New York, make sure you go get a ticket to see Motown, the musical. And it's just an amazing feat. I mean, everything they cover, every group. People don't realize how significant Motown is around the globe. It's the soundtrack to our lives. And so many generations. It's not just, my generation or an older generation or younger. It's the entire generation. You look at the groups, it's everything from Smokey Robinson to Rick James to Tina Marie to the Temptations to, and the list goes on. You don't realize how much of an effect that, what Motown represented in the music world. I mean, just in world period. It crossed so many boundaries, so many color barriers. The audiences for those particular shows, it's not just an urban show or African Americans or Caucasian. It's like this eclectic mix of a gumbo. Just everybody's there. And people enjoying music.
Well, you hit on something there, and the fact that Motown is really the building blocks for all of today's popular music. When we say popular music, we mean pop music. So top 40 R&B, all of that has its basis and foundation in Motown. I mean, right up through Boys to Men, who were the last really super group that Motown put out. But we're going to be talking about something, Al, on Pawn Talk Live, some new segment that we're going to be introducing, and one of them is going to be musical moments. But since we're talking Quincy Jones with you right now, I wanted to bring this up. So this week in music history, in 1991, Quincy Jones, your good friend, won 6 Grammys, Al, including Album of the Year for Back on the Block. He has more Grammy Awards than any other individual in pop music. That, my friend, that's an accomplishment.
Dave, you have to see Quincy's living room. Okay, the most amazing.
I'd love to. Can you invite me to the house for dinner? I'd love to come.
Absolutely. We had so much fun. We did what's called the last visit we did what's called a pajama jammy jam. And, it's really the most fun you ever want to have. And we all, he has, there's a dance floor set up and the DJ. And you look to one side, it's Anne Hathaway. You look to the other side, it's, Kadada Jones and Rashida Jones and it could be Kevin Hart, anybody. The bottom line is it's this eclectic mix of actors and musicians and friends, and they play all of the 80s music and just have a ball and a wonderful time. But then you pick up stairs and then you realize, I'm very grateful for him taking me under his wing and choosing me back in the 80s as the first Sony Innovator. They had the Sony Innovator Awards, and I was chosen. It was 2 final judges. Herbie Hancock was one of the judges, and Quincy Jones was the other judge. And Quincy chose me as the first Sony Innovator, and
wow.
Herbie Hancock chose a gentleman by the name of Terrence Blanchard.
Oh, that's an okay choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And, no, but just to say it like that, I'm this kid from Mount Vernon, and all of a sudden, having, tell my mother, that guy that did that Thriller thing, that he chose me in his contest. That's kind of cool.
Well, you know what, Al, I'm sorry to cut you off, buddy. I know you can't hear the music. It's your own music. It's playing behind us. And what that music says to us, Al, unfortunately, is we got to go here. Live Las Vegas is out. We will see you guys back here next Friday, 1 o'clock, right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Yeah.
KDWN's oldest and longest running show, Rural Nevada Today, has some great news. As always, you can hear them on Saturday morning from 6 to 7 a.m., but also now on Thursday morning from 4 to 5 a.m. If you don't like the way our nation is headed, tune in to Peter Lakopoulos every Saturday morning from 6 to 7 and the new show every Thursday morning from 4 to 5.
Hey, this is Rabbi Yitzwine of Young Israel Aish of Las Vegas. Please join me on The Rabbi Show every Sunday morning as we explore how you can expand joy and gratitude in your life to make every day a more fulfilling experience. Sunday mornings at 9 on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Luxury shops in Las Vegas aren't new. What is new, however, is luxury meeting value. At the world-famous Max Pawn, we specialize in marrying the two. With some of the finest selections of watches, designer handbags, sunglasses, and more, the luxury never stops. Every day, new items are added in-store and online. From Gucci and Chanel to Hermes and Louis Vuitton, Max Pawn delivers all the top luxury brands at a fraction of the price. Visit us online at